Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. I'm standing in for my colleague, that is Vivian Degwa. And Tuesday means it's Health Tuesday, where we talk all matters health. And today we want to talk about functional movement vis-a-vis physiotherapy. And joining me in studio to talk about this is none other than Rogers Kitur. He is a physiotherapist. Welcome to the program,
Thank
Rogers.
you for having me, Mary.
Asante sana. So functional movement, physiotherapy, but before we get into that, let's start by you just defining for us, what is functional movement? It sounds very obvious what functional movement is. Without functional movement, you and I would not have been here.
Exactly.
But just define for us what that means.
So basically, functional movement means that it's just the normal movement, the common movements that we do assume in our everyday today life. So like for example, moving to pick up an item, shifting this cup, that is functional movement. Basically achieving a task, that is functional movement. Yes.
Okay. Without which definitely we will not be healthy.
We will not, yeah. Of course.
So what is physiotherapy?
So physiotherapy is both an art and a science of moving. And I want to put it this way, that physiotherapy deals with your normal functions. Physiotherapy identifies the deficiencies in your normal movement and tries to address it or rather restore you to your normal function. So that is basically the summary of physiotherapy.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, there's a lot more to talk about in as far as physiotherapy is concerned. But let's get to the reasons as to why somebody might need physiotherapy. While it sounds like probably it's only for people who have injuries and all that, or who have had health issues, we'll be getting to the day-to-day, physical movement and how physiotherapy comes into play. But what are some of the conditions that can actually lead someone to needing physiotherapy?
So basically, all of us need physiotherapy. It is not just the patients who have physical deformities or other injuries or post-surgical cases. All of us need it, even us who are normal, we also need physiotherapy. So some of the common conditions that we see at our clinic, low back pain, that is very common, stroke, and the other post-surgical cases such as total knee replacement, total hip replacement. So all these cases present with physical challenges, and it is now a physiotherapist, or rather as physiotherapists, who are going to help you restore back your normal function. Yes.
So let's talk about stroke, for instance, because I can more or less say it's common.
Very common.
They're common. It's a common thing to happen, or a common condition. So how do you approach physiotherapy when it comes to somebody who has had stroke?
So stroke basically means you have had an event, or rather by definition, that there is an interruption in the supply of blood into your brain. And it can be in two types, either ischemic or hemorrhagic. So the most common one is ischemic, whereby up to about 85% of patients present with ischemic stroke. And ischemia basically means dead of a brain cell. So this happens when, let's say, an embolism or an emboli or a blood clot blocks a vessel that supplies into your brain. So a slight interruption leads to a stroke. Now, when it comes to the other one, the hemorrhagic, it means bleeding either into the brain or outside the brain tissue. So that one now will cause some impact, and it will present physically. Yes. So they present differently, and it's either you present with a left-sided stroke or the right-sided stroke. Yes, and there are so many causes of stroke. But the basic ones, of course, we know is high blood pressure, aneurysms. Yes. Yeah,
and what are the conditions? Because I know apart from high blood pressure, there are other conditions that can actually lead to stroke.
Yeah. There are other conditions that actually may lead to stroke. For example, excessive bleeding when you encounter a trauma. So you can sustain a stroke. So we've seen people who are involved in accidents, and they bleed a lot into the brain tissue, and so, or even outside Like if there is excessive bleeding, that means the blood going to the brain is reduced, and so you will experience hypoxia, and that one now will lead to ischemia in your brain.
Okay.
Yes.
So say somebody has experienced a stroke,
yes.
and they're paralyzed on one side of the body. And let me give an example of, your leg, because I've seen sometimes somebody's dragging their leg and all that. How do you approach physiotherapy when it comes to rehabilitating such a person?
So basically, usually, if, for example, it affects your left side, it will be you will see the symptoms right from the left side of your face to the arm to the leg. Now, how we approach it is, first of all, we have to listen to your history. We have to do an assessment so that we can define the physical inabilities that you have sustained in the process. And then now we draw up, after, of course, we know our diagnosis is stroke, and then we draw a treatment plan for this particular condition. And then the way we will draw our treatment plan is, first of all, we have to set up a baseline for your ability. Like, what can you do? Can you move this cup? Or you can't even lift a finger. So we have to define that first, the baseline, so that we can know, now this patient, we need to help them from sliding this cup to lifting the cup. And so we have to, first of all, assess you. And then after that now, we set our goals together, the patient and myself, so that the treatment becomes as interactive as possible, and so that you can also benefit. And then, of course, now I do an exercise prescription for you. We will see what you can do and what you can do, you cannot do. And then from there, from time to time, we will be doing an evaluation to see your progress. Yes, so basically that is it. And then there is something I almost forgot.
Yes.
Empowerment of the family members is also very important, because this client, we are not treating you in isolation. You exist in a community, and so we also have to empower the people around you so that they can know what is this condition, how do they expect you to behave, and how should they handle you when you behave this way. So that way we will be doing a holistic approach in terms of management of this particular client.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a holistic treatment that also involves a support system, which in most cases definitely is the family and the community.
Sure.
But apart from such conditions as stroke, which can actually lead to physical, can I say, injuries or inability to have functional movement, the day-to-day habits that people engage in, are there habits that we engage in that can actually cause us, to lose our functional movement, for that matter? Yes,
there are so many habits that we do, of course, without knowing, others knowingly, but just ignore it because the impact is too little. So we assume that, we will be okay. For example, sitting. Yes, sitting is one of in fact, is one of the things that predispose people to so many conditions. Long sitting can bring you low back pain. It can predispose you to overweight because you are losing less energy, and you are consuming a lot of energy. So the extra energies will be stored in terms of fat and all that. And of course, we know when you gain weight, it means that you are exerting excess pressure on your joints, on your muscles, and on the other ligaments in your body. So basically, a habit like long sitting is actually something that people need to watch. So when sitting, you need to put your body in a 90 degrees angle, that is your spine. And then in relation, of course, to your hip. And then the knees also have to assume a 90 degrees, and then the feet have to be flat. And then now, let's say for people who are using screens and all that, you have to adjust the screen so that it can be at the high level. Yes. And then you maintain the neutral, like your head has to be neutral. Yes. So that is one of the habits, the most common habits that predispose people to the most common condition, that is low back pain, because it is said that all of us must at one point experience low back pain, even as the experts.
Yeah.
Yes, because those are habits that we don't even, like, you don't realize that you are overdoing something. Yeah.
You know, like they say that sitting is the new smoking.
New smoking.
You know?
Exactly.
Meaning that people are sitting too much or too long, for that matter.
Yes.
I mean, unlike previously, where people had to till the land for that, you know,
Yes.
and work in the fields. So now we are working in the offices, we are driving to the offices, or we are catching matatus to the offices, and, you know, so our work mostly involves sitting a lot, and just like you've already explained what we should do, so movement is important. So if your job involves sitting a lot, then you must also be conscious of getting up at least and just pacing around.
In fact, we advise that you take breaks. If your job involves sitting, we always advise that you get an adjustable tables or an adjustable chair, so that at one, like let's say after every 2 hours, you can just get up, adjust your table, and walk from there. Because of course we have to improve productivity. We don't want you to go outside and run around. We want you to walk, but at the same time protect your health. So we always say that take few breaks to stretch and to move around.
Okay.
Yes.
So I've seen people use certain, I don't know that to say, gadgets, you know, to help them sit straight. You know, maybe it's in the office, so sometimes they put it at the back of the seat or in the cars. And I've also seen some gadgets where people can actually tie around their backs, you know, and fasten around their waist. Do they really help, or actually cause even more, you know, injury?
So in terms of the gadgets that people use in our day-to-day lives, for example, the one for sitting, a cushion. So it is both helpful and it can also harm you. Why do I say so? Because we all know that everything in excess is harmful. And when you are given this gadget, you're supposed to be told how to use it, because you might adjust it in a certain angle that predisposes you to more stress. So you will see, you will be assuming that you are helping yourself, but at the same time, you are harming yourself. So ensure that when you are getting these gadgets, get a proper explanation on how to use it. And whenever you are not sure, don't shy off from asking. Because the moment you ask, you are corrected, and we become well. Yes.
Thank you so much, Rogers, for that explanation. I want to delve into something that probably known, but in most cases people might not be aware. It's called diastasis recti.
Yes.
I'm sure you're familiar with diastasis recti.
Yes.
And this is a condition that affects women during pregnancy, or at least after delivery. And that is because of the weight that they carry. And most women who have delivered, in most cases, will complain about back pain. Yeah, and all that. But even before you delve into how, or we delve into how physiotherapy can actually help in terms of rehabilitating someone with diastasis recti, let's just explain to us, first of all, what diastasis recti is.
So basically it means that your muscles, you see during pregnancy, our muscles, there are hormones that are produced so that it can prepare your body to carry the baby and to prepare for delivery. So these hormones include a relaxin hormone that basically relaxes your muscles, the ligaments, and the structures around your pelvic area, so that it can prepare for delivery. So in this condition, it means that these structures around this area have become, let me use this term, loose. Yes. And so after delivery, or even during pregnancy, we need to, there are certain exercises, like for example the Swiss ball exercises, that are meant to help you strengthen your pelvic floor muscles, so that it can prepare you for pushing. And then also after delivery, we have also to restore the normal function of those particular stretched muscles, because a stretched muscle is a weak muscle. Yes. So a stretched muscle is a weak muscle.
So there's a connection between your abdominals
Yes.
and your back.
Your back.
And so in terms of diastasis recti, that means the muscles,
Yes.
I'm not so sure of the name, you're the expert, you'll tell us. It actually separates.
It separates,
Yeah,
yes.
and
yes.
so that gives you a weak abdominal, and
Yes.
that is what causes the back pain.
Back pain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So when rehabilitating, first of all, how does it present itself? So that if case somebody is watching, they'll be able to, understand like whether they have it or not, because they could be experiencing back pain after delivery. But actually the issue is not the back, the issue is actually the abdominals.
So the abdominals are stretched out during pregnancy. And when you stretch a muscle, as I said earlier, it becomes weak. Yes, because you are going beyond the limit that the normal limit. Yes. So and because during pregnancy there is a shift in the center of gravity because of the growing weight of the baby. So because of that, we put a lot of strain both on the abdominal muscles and the back muscles. Yes, that is why we always encourage people to engage in exercises during pregnancy and after pregnancy. Sorry. Yes. So basically, when you present with this condition, we have to first of all define where the source of the pain is, and then assess the extent to which the condition has affected you, because it presents differently for different people.
Okay.
You will get somebody who has the minor and then the severe one.
Okay.
So we have first of all to cluster. After that, now we draw a treatment plan for you. Yes, after identifying that the cause is the level of the weakness of the muscles, because the exercises depend on the level of the weakness of the muscles. Yes.
So that brings me to the day-to-day activities for people who love sports. They don't have stroke or any other medical condition that they would warrant them to see a physiotherapist, but then they're active. They're involved in active lifestyle, whether they're going to the gyms and all that. So starting with even someone who has delivered, because in most cases when women have delivered, there's always that I want to get back to my previous, body and all that.
Yes.
What are some of the precautions, for instance, they're supposed to take, because there's a different way that such a person is supposed to handle their exercises.
Yes.
But in physiotherapy, how do you then handle such a person?
So if I understand you correctly, we are talking about the normal people who want to engage in exercises. Yeah. Yes. So first of all, I will insist that exercise is very important, be it when you are sick or just normal. Yes. Let us be active. Let us move. Just move. Do those steps. Some of us do up to 10,000 steps in a day. Yes, just to burn that extra calorie so that we can maintain our body weight, so that we don't strain our bodies. Yes. So for such people, we do advise them that when you go to a gym, ensure that you are being handled by a trained person in a gym. That is a gym instructor. So a trained gym instructor knows that this person has a body weight of this amount, and they're supposed to lift a weight of up to a maximum of this. Now, when you are starting out at the gym, you don't have to go there and lift 100 kgs because you will be harming yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to gradually build your stamina. So we always advise people that when you go to a gym, please, first of all, if it's your first time, ensure that you engage a trainer. And be sincere, tell them it is my first time, and because I would wish to gain benefits. Of course, it will be painful the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but then you will get used to it. Now, when it comes to precautions to take in the gym, make sure that you are lifting properly. You are not lifting using your back. You are lifting using your leg muscles. Yes. And then also make sure that the weight is closer to you. Ensure that the base of support is you spread your legs. Yes, when lifting, so that you increase the base of support, and then you also avoid strains and sprains unnecessarily. Yes. So those are some of the few precautions. But of course, the precautions are in general. Some are unique to specific people, and some are of course applied to all of us. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so how then is physiotherapy important to people who are, engaging in day-to-day activities?
So physiotherapy is very important to people engaging in day-to-day activities because we are able first of all to assess your gait as you move. So we will be able to see that, oh, so and so is moving around, but we see that you have a challenge. You are probably moving with some bit of
slanting.
Slanting. Now, when your gait is not proper, like your clearance from the ground, you are dragging one leg. You see, according to you are normal.
Yeah.
But then when I see you, I will identify those particular challenges. Yes. So it is very important also when starting out on exercises, you can seek advice from a physiotherapist so that they can advise you on what is safe for you, so that you don't end up harming yourself in the process of trying to become physically fit. Yes, that is basically what I can.
I hear a lot of complaints, especially people who engage in cardio, which is either running or jogging for that matter,
or cycling.
Mostly people who are either exerting a lot of, weight when they are in the physical activity. So at what point then, we're talking about some of the signs that you need to pay attention to, that means you need to actually go for physiotherapy. So at what point should somebody be advised that this pain is just not a normal pain anymore?
So for people doing cardio, we cluster it. You can do it the non-weight bearing cardio or the weight bearing cardio. So for example, for cyclists, they will present with pains on the arms, on the elbows, even the shoulder, because of the shock. Like you are absorbing the let's say you are doing your cycling on an uneven terrain. So there is a lot of shock absorption that is happening on your shoulders. So when you experience any form of pain, I always say that pain is a very important signal in our lives, because the moment you lose the sense of pain, it means that you are predisposed to a lot of things. You can even get burned without realizing, you see? So use pain as a signal or as an indicator to seek for help from a physiotherapist. When you experience pain, shoulder pain, anywhere, please seek help from a physiotherapist. And I know, and when you go there, make sure that you are as sincere as possible when presenting your case, because that way now we'll be able to draw a proper treatment plan. We'll be able to modify the way you do your cardio. Yes. So we won't be able to achieve that if you hide some bit of information, because I have seen in the clinics, people come in, they tell you half the story. Now you end up misdiagnosing them. Yes. You end up treating something else, and then the pain persists for too long. By the time you realize that this was the cause, like you would have spent a lot of money.
Okay.
Yes. So let us be as sincere as possible when we visit our clinics, and then that way we will be able to get the right diagnosis and the right treatment.
Okay.
Yes.
So a pain more than, say, 2 weeks, if you're starting off on physical activity, is that a pain that should take you to the physiotherapist? Or is it a pain that is more than a month or two?
Not really. When you are starting out on exercise, we have something called post-exercise muscle soreness that is very common. And when you are starting out, it means that you have not been working out. This is a new thing, and the body is trying to adjust. So there is normal pain that you will experience. Now, if the pain persists for too long, kindly make sure that you seek for advice from a physiotherapist. Yes. Now, for the cases of the people who have been doing exercises for a very long time, they are not immune to this kind of exposures, because repetitive movements always predispose us to musculoskeletal challenges, which will present, of course, as pain.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Roger. So we want to take a short break, and we'll be back discussing more on the issue of physiotherapy and functional movement. So stay tuned. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you've just joined us, we're talking about functional movement and physiotherapy. Today being Tuesday is Health Tuesdays, and I'm talking to Rogers Kitur. He is a physiotherapist. And Rogers, we've been talking about functional movement, physiotherapy and all that. And we've touched about generally almost everything, you know, when it comes to the day-to-day activities, when it comes to some of the conditions can predispose you to injuries or at least seeking physiotherapy services. But let's talk about a very special group, and this is the old, because this is where, in most cases, your functional movement will be affected, whether it's walking or just doing your daily activities, become very, very, very difficult. So what are some of those functional, can I say, movement interference that comes when somebody is, can I say, growing old?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we call them geriatric patients or geriatric clients. So it means that you have grown, you have done a lot of activities during your active years, and now your body is trying to give in and say that, oh, I think it's done. So all the patients will present with a lot of movement limitations, joint stiffness, a lot of pain. Some will present, the most common is arthritis, yes. Some, and as we know, and as you grow old, our bone density also reduces, a condition called osteoporosis, as we all know. So, and it means that this particular group of people are predisposed to a lot of fractures, when a lot of falls, because now also your balance is going, because your brain is shrinking, so you are losing your balance, So in this particular specific condition called osteoporosis, we see it, that's why we always tell old patients, please watch your surfaces, don't slide, because when you fall, when you lose your balance, it means that your bone can easily snap. So we always advise them. We always try to educate them on falls prevention. Yes, so that we ensure that they remain active as much as possible, but also safe. Because you see, a simple event like a fall can lead to a hip fracture that will predispose you to surgery. This is now open surgery. Now, when you get an open surgery, it can predispose you to infections. If you get an infection, you can get sepsis out of the infection. And you see, a sepsis is a very critical condition that can easily cause death. So that's why we always insist that people who are old to move with a lot of care. Yes, and as we grow old, let us also adjust our environment. Don't insist on going to that toilet that is, the one that you go and crouch and adjust your space. Use a high adjustable toilet so that you don't stress your joints. You don't fall while trying to do your business. Let us also adjust our, if for example your bedroom is upstairs, it is not necessary. Please convert one of the rooms downstairs and sleep there comfortably, because going up the stairs also can also predispose you to falls. So we always tell them that you've lived. So now it's all about safety and ensuring that you stay with us longer, so that we can be able to gain a lot from you. Yes. Okay.
So you've touched about osteoporosis, and women are most susceptible to osteoporosis. Probably could tell us why.
Yes.
Because calcium is also a very important, can I say, mineral in our bodies that actually plays a part in giving us strong bones. But why are women most susceptible to osteoporosis?
Women are more susceptible to osteoporosis simply because of the hormonal shift. You see, for ladies, during your younger age, you still have to hormonal balance. But when you reach menopause, there is a lot of, I would say, chaos or confusion in the body. So the regulations of the body is no longer okay. So it means that you will be losing a lot of calcium at a very alarming rate. So that's why it is very common. For us men, you see, we are active most of the time. So, and we are outside most of the time. So women are more predisposed to osteoporosis because of that, the hormonal shift after menopause.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's safe for me to say osteoporosis is just brittle. Your bones become very brittle.
Very brittle.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And so that brings me to bone health, because that's a part of our body that in most cases we don't even think about.
Yeah.
So we talk about how you should take care of your heart, how you should take care of your kidneys, for instance, drinking water, and then even how to build muscles and all that. But we also talk about how important building muscles is to the health of your bones.
Yes.
But then how should we then take care of our bones?
So basically, I would say bones are our structure. The way you look like this now, Marie, is because of the structure of the bones. If, for example, you add a bone that is curved, it means that your body structure would be curved. So I would say that bones keep us going. Like they are the main. The reason as to why I'm seated like this is because of the bones. Yes. So bone health is very important, and calcium is also very important in the bones. And we know the many sources of calcium, but the basic one is vitamin D. That one will help you to gain a lot of calcium.
So you need to go out and
go out
for
there.
The sun.
Yes,
yeah?
Go out there. And especially also in children.
Yeah.
We see children nowadays spending a lot of time on TVs, inside and all that. It is not very good for them. Let them go and play around so that they can at least get some exposure to vitamin D, so that they can be able to get sufficient calcium and strong bones. Yes. Now, for the cases of osteoporosis, let's say fractures and the rest, we always have supplements for calcium, and they are there. They are there, and we always prescribe them when we get patients who have osteoporosis, who are recovering from fractures. So we have calcium supplements that are there, and ensure that the calcium supplement that you are getting is certified, because we have a lot of monkey business also in the market. Somebody can be selling you things that are not working. So you have also to be very careful in whatever you consume. Ensure that you get the proper prescription from a health professional or bone experts, so that for that matter you benefit rather than to be duped. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to ask you this question, because I involve myself a lot in physical activity, and I recently came across, a talk, if I may call it that way, and there's a way you can actually scan your bones to know the health of your bone. How important is that? Because we can go do MRIs where we need to know, when you're doing your overall health check. So in most cases, they will only take your blood tests, they will do your, look at the ECG when it comes to your heart and all. But how important is it for us to regularly check the health of our bones, even as we grow older?
So basically, osteoporosis, let me go back to osteoporosis, because that means that you are losing your bone health. So how we diagnose it is, when you take an X-ray, there is a way a bone should look like, and there is a way a porous bone will look like. So an X-ray will always show you your bone health. Yes. Of course, we have other things like biopsies and all that, but the safest way that they usually use, we use an X-ray to check for your bone health, because that is what will actually reveal that is this bone normal or it is porous.
Okay.
Yes. Because so from there now we can move to what you need to do after that. Yes.
And also I've recently learned that it's very, very important for us to build muscle as we grow older, because then our movement is slightly reduced when you grow older. And like children and young people were always outside there. When you grow older, you tend to, your movement is curtailed, or at least is not as much as the young people. And that in itself, that means you lose muscle as you grow older. So how important is muscle growth as you grow older, and how can we maintain our muscle?
So muscle growth is very important, especially when you are growing old, because you see this is the time when you are spending most of the time probably sitting, sleeping, and doing all that. So the reason as to why we encourage people to gain some weight at old age is because of the pressures. You will be easily predisposed to pressure. So if you don't have enough, let me say enough muscle to absorb the stress that comes with the surfaces that we interact with at our age. So that's why we always say, please gain some weight as you grow old, because that way now you will get a cushion to absorb that extra. So you know the action and reaction. Yes. So it is very important for you to be able to gain some muscle mass. Yes, and we all know how to gain a muscle mass is through weightlifting.
Yes,
and also diet. So we have to be cautious about we have to watch our weight, not just watching but doing something about it.
Okay, last but not least, I want to bring in the issue of stress, sleep, and diet, but in a nutshell, because my time is also running out, or at least our time is running out for this discussion. How important is sleep at the end of the day, and just keeping a healthy lifestyle when it comes to your overall health, definitely bone health, and now talking about physiotherapy?
So the simple sleep is simply resting. After a long day of a lot of work, a lot of stress, a lot of exposures, our body needs space to be able to recover from all that. So sleep is very important, and it is always recommended that if you can do 8 hours of sleep in a day, I know of course it is hard to do that, but ensure that at least most of the time you do 8 hours of sleep, so that you can give, at night we have the phases of sleep, and at night our body is always recovers. Yes, there are hormones that will be released so that it can calm your body. It also reduces stress. Yes, because as you sleep, it means that you are not being exposed to a lot of so the body will just relax. Yes, so when you wake up the next day, you will be well. Yes, there's also one more thing. Stretching is very important. Yes, when you wake up very early in the morning, you will feel that you are a bit stiff. Don't deny yourself the pleasure of stretching. Just stretch. Yes, just stretch. And then also during the day, when after sitting for too long, stand, stretch. The simple stretches, there is no magic about stretching. You know that for you to stretch here, for you to stretch this side, your neck, the same.
And the body always speaks at the end of the day. When you wake up, there's a way you feel your body. And so, like you said, don't deny yourself that stretch, because there's a way it feels. It's very nice, and it relieves and all that. So thank you so much, Roger Skitur. We've been speaking to Roger Skitur. He's a physiotherapist, just giving us, the general outlook of what physiotherapy is all about and what functional movement is. He's also talked about how best we can take care of our health when it comes to functional movement, and when should you be able to seek physiotherapy if you need one. And of course, just concluding by just talking to us of how old age does affect our health and what we need to do to take care of our bones, for that matter, because they actually are the foundations of our structure. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us on Good Morning Kenya. It's been Health Talk on Health Tuesday. Rogers, thank you so much for coming, and we hope to have you back maybe one of these fine days just to talk to us about our general health when it comes to, bone health, physiotherapy and all that. So thank you so much. And I think right about now, my colleague Regina Manyara is out there just trying to bring us up to speed with what is happening. So I'll be handing it over to the directors to take us there. That's what's happening where you are.
Thank you very much, Marie. Indeed, we're coming to you live from the Tamarind Hotel.